morning.
Hello.
How are you?
Hi. This is The Moment with the Munsons on New Reality TV. Welcome to, it's our third week of broadcasting.
Yes, third final week. Not final,
What?
But final day
I
of
didn't
the
get that
third
memo.
week.
All right.
And yeah, I said good morning, but it could be, I don't know what time it is where you are. It's actually
Say hi.
afternoon where we are.
Hello. Welcome to the now. It's about being in the moment. Doesn't matter what time of day it is.
Exactly. I can see we've got people watching us already. We've got Thunderduck joining us.
T-Duck is here.
Yay.
Quack,
Get
quack.
to watch it live. He's saying good morning.
It was probably when that comment was typed.
Yeah, maybe.
Just before we slipped over from a bon dia to a boa tarde.
Yeah, it's 12 o'clock p.m. in Portugal. That's where we're streaming from. Where are you? Let us know where you are if you're watching. And please do feel free to join us in the chat room.
How do you think it's going? Week 3.
I am enjoying it. I'm enjoying this
Me
new
too.
kind of routine for us. Loving it. We're getting lots of great comments and lots of great interactions from it. And it does feel like what we started doing 14 years ago when we first met.
That's pretty much the last time the Rolling Stones were in Lisbon.
Really? And
Yeah.
they're coming back now, aren't
Yeah,
they?
they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Let's hope we've got as long a career as they have.
I don't know.
Fantastic.
But it does feel like, we are kind of fulfilling on possibly what we came together to do in the first place. So this feels really nice.
Yeah.
Really, really love it.
Wonderful. Are you going to ask me how I think it's going?
Yes. How do you think it's going?
I'm so glad you asked. I'm delighted for the opportunity after a busy morning, which happens at Casa Munson, doesn't it? To know it's two things. It's very sort of human on one level. It's like, it's getting closer to midday. It's time to do the show. And then as I get into this chair and get ready,
you go crazy.
No, you were. I think you were a little bit critical of my hyperactivity before.
Yes, I was a little bit. Yeah.
But on the inside, I'm like, wow, this is wonderful, and that's what this is about, coming into the moment. So I'm so grateful from a very selfish point of view.
Yeah.
That we get this punctuation and the invitation to everybody to maybe draw a line under the proceedings of the last few hours, or even the last hour, or the last activity, and join us in this moment now. And be present with us, hear the sounds, see the images. Don't get too serious or don't think too much about it. Just be here with us right now. Feel the weight of your body on the chair. That's all right, isn't it? You got a body.
Do you know what?
You got a miracle.
Do you know what? I tune in quicker and quicker each day, because obviously every time you say that now, I'm just going straight into, It
reminds me when I did this sort of exercise for a GP practice, which is a general practitioner's surgery, a doctor's surgery in UK. So I had the whole room of some doctors, some admin staff, and those, the ladies, generally speaking, who are on the reception.
Yep.
Medical receptionists, they are a feared species in the UK.
They're gatekeepers, aren't they?
They are. And one of them, I think, or the practice manager had said to me, could you come and do some of that meditation and mindfulness for the doctors? They're a funny bunch. I don't know how they're going to react to it, but can you come and try? Oh yeah, of course I can, because I was running a natural health and healing centre in the same town of Newton Abbot in Devon, which of course.
I do, yeah.
And so we sat there, and I'm saying, okay, well, if you just gently close your eyes and feel the weight of your body on the chair, and take a couple of breaths, breathe out, and I heard this voice say, "Is he hypnotizing us?" I was like,
yeah,
what?
well,
And you just reminded me of that. It's like it is conditioning, isn't it? To be fair, in all transparency and authenticity, I am conditioning people each day, aren't I?
Yeah.
And maybe in a way it is hypnosis, isn't it? To feel the weight of the body on the chair.
I as you were telling that story about working with the people in the doctor studio, I was remembering running a similar thing in a different.
Well, you weren't
town.
Focusing on what I was saying.
No, because you'd.
I'm joking.
No, well, it's fine.
Right.
I'm not offended. You were saying, get relax on your seat, take a deep breath in and stuff. I was running hypnosis sessions for relaxation and stuff, and they are some of the things that you would it would just roll off your tongue if you were going to induce somebody into a deeper sense of relaxation. But hypnosis is just a series of words. Lots of people, I remember when I first started studying it, I thought I was going to, get some kind of magic, there was something magic behind it. And of course, it's just words. It's just carefully thought out words. a sense of timing, watching the people that you're working with, slowing your voice down, using your voice.
You're doing it now. Are you hypnotizing me?
And the moment I do that, I mean, the great thing as somebody who practices hypnosis is you actually end up going down with the person you're working with.
In a good way.
Yeah, in a really good way. I mean, that sounded inappropriate.
Going down. We're going down, everybody. Women and children first. It's not what you meant, is it?
No, right. I know, and I can see that there can be quite a few different interpretations of those words. But you know, I've forgotten where I was now.
That's good. There's nothing wrong with that. You're in the moment.
But you know, like when you're going into that moment, there is that joining together. You know, like where where like the edge of who I am and what I am seems to kind of get a little bit fuzzy, and we get a little bit influenced. You know, we can be influenced. I was going to say influenceable. I don't even know if that's a word. I don't think it is. You know, and the sort of borders between, you know, where we exist and where we don't exist seem to merge. And so we work together. We work empathically. You know, people just come together.
We're into the ethics.
This wasn't what we were going to talk about today.
No, it never is. We're into the ethics of spirituality in a way, aren't we? And you said it's only words. And I was thinking, well, on one level, yeah, and it's like a holy trinity that Tasha was talking about.
Yeah.
On the superficial, on in the body, it's only words, isn't it? And in the world of the senses, you're hearing words, and that's the medium. But there's also intention, isn't there, behind that, which might be the mentality of it. And then there's the willingness of the recipient.
Yes.
Which is perhaps the spiritual part of it. And those three things are working together, aren't they? There's the medium, and in this case, only the words, as you suggested.
Yeah.
Then there's intention, and a lot of people on these shows over the last 3 weeks have talked about that. The importance of setting an intention or being in intention. And then, of course, there's the willingness of all involved, especially the recipient, I suppose, who might say, I've come here with their intention to, it might be giving up smoking, might it, in hypnotherapy, or it might be to expand my consciousness. And that's an intention. And it also comes with a level of willingness and receptivity as well, doesn't it? And there's that beautiful interplay between all those things, intention, willingness, and the medium. Not the medium as in a spiritual medium, although that might also be the case, but the medium of whether it's words, whether it's a therapeutic process, whether it's a service, a ritual, or a live stream like this. That's at work here, isn't it? It's just words, and there is intention, and there's willingness. And we love being in that soup of those three things with you. And happy birthday, Deb.
Happy birthday, Deb.
How about that?
And thank you for joining us on your birthday.
Yeah, we're honoured. We're honoured.
7 a.m. New England.
I hope it's a good start to your birthday proceedings.
What are you doing today?
And look at this lovely community. Chime in with the birthday.
T-Duck, well. Jodie Lee. Hi, Jodie Lee.
Wonderful.
That's just so nice. So we've got quite a few people
milling around in our milieu. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. I love what you were saying about intention. I want to share. It's a bit of a secret, actually. So, I did my hypnosis, NLP, and timeline therapy training years and years ago. Now with NLP, like there are lots of different little not tricks.
That was the word that came to mind.
Yeah, it was tricks
for me as well.
Yeah, maybe I was mind reading. Who knows? Spell is another thing that came up, but it's not. It's like a technique. Okay, so there's techniques for different kinds of things. And as you get more proficient with NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, you might start to make your own techniques, practice them, and see how they work. Now, over the years, I've done a few techniques, especially earlier in, when I was using it, and I might have got the technique slightly round the wrong way or used the wrong word at the wrong time. That's
brilliant.
I know.
It's like that Kermit the Frog meme, isn't it? It's looking through a window of condensation and rain.
Yeah.
And I sometimes wonder where people ended up who I gave the wrong directions to.
No, but
is that the secret?
No, my point is, even when it goes wrong with NLP, it goes right.
Yeah.
Because, when you're talking about consciousness, I mean, and I'm only talking about my own experiences, maybe it has gone wrong for other people, but from my perspective, A, there is this kind of relationship of intention between you and a willingness and an outcome that you're hoping to sort of get towards. And, you know, sometimes you think you might go wrong, but actually consciousness is kind of taking you another way. Like you kind of stumble on something that might bring up more information for the recipient's consciousness to like have a memory or to remember something that was kind of critical that allows them to make a change. So I just think, you know, even when we get our words wrong, they are sometimes right. And that brought me back to when I was, so you're talking about your jobs, what you've done. And Carl, you know, we've got some friends that joke with us because every time he tells them a new story, it's about another job he's had. And they're like, how many flipping jobs? I mean, honestly, there's hundreds of different roles. And I just heard that doctor story for the first time in 14 years. I've never heard that one before. So Carl is chock full of these stories, all I'm sure verifiable in some way, shape or form. But I had quite a long career working as a trainer for business and like banking and insurance. And I used to use...
I'm sorry, the image that came to mind for me is a pair of trainers.
Seriously?
Of which you were one. I was a trainer, like a sports shoe.
Like one
I was
sports
a sports shoe.
Okay.
I had a long career as a sports shoe.
Well, when I
was looking for my soulmate.
when I was this lone trainer working in these busy, dusty offices in like JP Morgan Chase and stuff, I used to talk about communication skills and help people with sales, you know, in particular selling particular products. And we used to use some research from somebody called Albert, I think it's Albert or Alfred Morabian, and he was looking at how important the words actually are. Is it the words? Is it the actual like truth, the facts of the words? I think that was like the knowledge, or the tone. And actually each time it was the tone that was more important.
Absolutely.
It's the tone. And I think, you know, tone, you could also use that as intention, because, you know, your intention does direct the tone. The tone is so much more important. It carries all the information about what's going on.
And we know this as humans, don't we? We are listening for intention and energy as much as there are the words. And we trust people. Sometimes it doesn't go well, but I think it is our intention to be open to intention and to be willing. And that's a beautiful thing, which does obviously sometimes not work out completely well for other reasons, but it's a really beautiful process, I think, isn't it? And so intention is so important, and we have been hearing that from our guests over the last 3 weeks, which is fantastic.
So like we spent like the first quarter, like half of our show talking about how much we've enjoyed, you know, like riffing.
We're coming together
on,
here, though. It's lovely.
I mean, that's
and
the whole
thank you for the
Friday,
contribution. I think Friday's a little bit, we let our hair down. The last little bits of it I've got. Happy to let it down on a Friday.
That's perfect, T-Duck.
That's so true, though. We know that to be true, don't we?
Yes.
People won't remember the exact words you say, but they will remember the way you made them feel. Comedians, politicians, you know, name your profession. There will be an aspect of this that relates to any profession, I think, isn't it?
Yeah.
The doctor, you know, how did the doctor make you feel? You can't remember the exact prescription or words necessarily, but if you came away from there feeling cared for, that's the overwhelming. That's the hidden part of the iceberg, isn't it? There's the chat at the top, and we know about verbal and non-verbal communication. There's what goes on in the world that we meet in, but beneath, in the hidden worlds, in the other worlds, there's so much more. I think it's true to say so much more.
Definitely. Right? I think we should go to the comments, because we've got loads coming in, and you know, I think this is a joyous coming together, isn't it? So Jodie Lee, oh wow, that's interesting, Carl. I've also had quite a lot of different odd jobs, not
Same
all
here.
amazing.
Mine haven't.
I have as well,
amazing,
actually.
But, and it's the time we're living in. You know, the idea of being in one job from you know, leaving school and retiring on a full pension. Those days are sound like something
pension
from
a
pension. Exactly. Words and sounds are so powerful.
Yes,
they're magic for sure.
absolutely.
So true, Jodie Lee.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And Fiona and
hi,
Simon,
Fiona and Simon.
Great to see you. Happy afternoon, good people from the Shires.
We've got loads of comments.
Go on, you and Sarah's here as well. Look, Sarah.
Yes, we've got Sarah Taylor.
She was a smash earlier this week.
She was amazing.
And
Happy
Bob
Friday.
was amazing yesterday
We've
as well.
got some comments to share, actually.
Okay, do you want to do those before we tackle? Can I just seed this idea?
Yeah.
Which I already seeded earlier this week. But if we go to back to basics, I'm inviting contributions in the latter half of this show. I mean, back to basics.
Yeah.
Why
are we here?
Not here Not here in this environment. Why are we here generally?
Yeah.
In this existence? What do you think? I mean, why wouldn't we be asking that question all the time? I mean, some of us did as children.
I did all the time.
And it got us a pretty bad name and for being an irritable little so-and-so. Sorry, irritating little so-and-so.
Yeah.
All right, sorry, over to you in the comments.
So we've also got Stacey joining us, evening in Australia, 10 p.m. here on the Gold Coast.
Saw my favourite spiritual teacher of all time, Barry Long, on the Gold Coast. It was fantastic. And there's a story to tell about arriving in Australia to see Barry Long. Have you heard that one?
I don't know. Go on.
Okay, all right, quickly
We've
then.
got time.
I arrive in Australia. I decided at short notice I'm going to go and see Barry Long, whose tapes, we were talking about this the other day, when we used to watch VHS cassettes and listen to audio cassettes of our spiritual teachers and personal growth pundits. And I thought, okay, that's it. I'm going to go and see Barry in Australia. I know I was so sort of, I don't know, I was in a bit of a difficult place, or thought I was. I mean, that's all it takes, right? So there I was, arriving in Australia to see Barry Long for 10 days, I think, and I might have extended the trip to 12 days. And I get to immigration, and the customs man, or the border man, is saying, "G'day, mate." And I think he really did sound like that. I'm not just doing an Australian stereotype.
Go on.
Why here? Business or pleasure? And I said, well, I'm here to see a spiritual teacher, actually. I don't know why I didn't just say pleasure.
Oh my God.
And he said, spiritual teacher? What's he going to teach you, mate? And I said, how to be free of unhappiness. And I'm thinking, we're in some long grass now. What's going to happen? Am I going to get a cavity search for being a smart ass?
Yeah.
As it were.
Did you?
No, he said, have a great stay, mate. And ushered me through.
Oh wow, well that's great.
Was it. It was fantastic. It was as though we were brothers on a spiritual level. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
Have a great stay.
Oh wow.
Spiritual teacher.
Have a great stay.
Come and be free of unhappiness in Australia. And I mean, Gold Coast is fantastic.
Did that work?
No, of course not.
Sorry.
Very funny. Very funny, me not being free of my unhappiness.
Well, do you know what? If anyone here watching us today has worked out how to be free of unhappiness, you must get in touch. I'd love to hear from you.
No, I do know. I mean, what I've realised is it's not a final job.
No, exactly.
It's not a process. Exactly. I know how to be free of unhappiness. I mean, Barry Long taught me a lot about that. But whether I do it or not remains the ongoing pursuit, right?
Yeah.
It's not a pursuit. I will do my non-duality teacher impersonation one of these days.
Okay. Actually, Carl's got quite a good stand-up comedy routine of spiritual teachers. And he's been developing it for about 10 years. And I keep saying, come on, get out there and do it. Yeah. Anyway, Deb is saying, hypnosis is something I want to try. I believe I had a near-death... Ooh, me too. I believe I had a near-death experience 3.5 years ago, and I completely changed my life afterwards.
Amazing,
I'd like to remember. I know different people. In fact, we've I can think of quite a few people that could help you with that, Deb, and I could possibly help you with that as well. Very, very exciting.
I think that the new reality...
I'd love to know more about your in fact, there is somebody who does
on New Reality TV.
Yeah.
This community is bristling to help or be of some sort of support.
Yeah, there's a past life regressionist as well.
Yes, that's right.
Who has a show on New Reality TV.
Yeah.
He's very cool.
Yeah.
So it's worth checking that out as well. Yeah. Jodie Lee is saying, I'm also curious about hypnosis too. My mum's done hypnosis a couple of times and loved it. You know what? I think hypnosis should be a great experience. And if you find a good hypnotist, they'll take you on a journey, and usually they prep you to feel good right at the end, so that you just can, as you open your eyes, you'll feel light and bright and here and in the present. And they can put in so many different beautiful affirmative thoughts because you're in a great
I
space.
thought you were going to say it should be taught at school. And the funny thing about hypnosis is it's been turned into a thing. The truth to me is...
teachers, a lot of, no offense to teachers, there's a lot of really, really great teachers, but actually school does put most people into a trance.
That's what I want to say.
But it doesn't necessarily use the kids' attention.
Everything is hypnosis.
Yeah, TV's hypnosis.
Everything is hypnosis, isn't it? It's not, I remember the first time I heard about hypnosis and hypnotherapy, it was like right back to the cliche of the Freudian, somebody swinging, just watch the watch and breathe, and you listen to my words, and you are now hypnotized, and you have to snap of the fingers. I'm going to make you eat an onion, and all that stuff, which trivialized and kind of misled us, I think, in a way. Hypnosis is going on all the time, isn't it? It's just whether it's purposeful, intentional, and so on.
We're in and out of states all the time.
Absolutely.
Mother Mulberry's Tea Club from South Africa is saying happy Friday, everyone.
Hi, Mother Mulberry's
We've
Tea
just
Club.
got like lots of love, and we got some new comments.
Sarah, did you put Sarah's comment on?
Yes, I did.
Good, okay.
Solar Life is joining us, saying we can just choose to be free of unhappiness. We have an amazing friend whose sorry, my tone is slightly off. We have an amazing friend who's terminally ill, who we've just never seen unhappy, whilst others take great joy from being miserable. You're really, really right.
There is something in that, Pete, for sure, isn't there? And that's not to say for people who have succumbed or are being dogged by darkness and depression, it's not entirely helpful, is it, to say, well, all you've got to do is just choose to be free of that. You know, there are reasons, there are codes to crack, aren't there? And there are things to understand before what you say, which I think is absolutely true, can actually be true in an individual position and for a person, given what some of us go through. So whilst that's true, it's simple, but maybe not always easy. And that's why, you know, that's why I think new reality TV exists in many ways. It's to support and offer processes for that choice. If you can't just switch it on, which, let's face it, most of us can't just choose to be free of unhappiness, as much as we might understand the sentiment or the idea or the concept. Yeah, and sometimes the quickest way to actually getting into happiness is to actually be in unhappiness, because then you see the difference. You know, some people are kind of in a kind of gray space often, and then they don't really feel bad enough to know that they need to feel good enough, if that makes sense. I have to kind of go like up and down, back and forth quite a bit. We've got lots of great comments, so Deb's going to reach out. I'm not sure we're going to get to the meaning of life. We're dealing with the power to be free of unhappiness today, which is fine. Yeah, and we're having a natter, and I think everyone's feeling a sense of belonging. And I'm having a massage. I'm having some reflexology whilst this gadget you got with your sauna is on the floor of the studio, and I'm rubbing my feet on it. That's what I'm meant to be doing, right? Or is it for pastry? We've got some foot rollers that came. Yeah, it's not going to be used for pastry now. T-Duck is saying gratitude, letting go and finding purpose are a few of the many secrets to happiness, which I would absolutely agree with. Absolutely. Simply Live is saying, hi, Mel. Good to see you. Kindness, generosity, and helping others too. God, everything's flowing in. It is. Pete saying, we did and still do teach deep breathing both at school. Oh yeah, because we got an actual teacher here, and now in our own business, teaching how to be calm is good. That's absolutely great, isn't it? At my school, and they did just check if we were breathing from time to time after a cross-country run or whatever. Check that boy's still breathing over there, who's lying on the floor. Yes, very good. Get up. Yeah. T-Duck saying you can't appreciate the mountaintop. You've traversed the valleys. That's definitely how I am. Nadia. Sorry, that sounded quite alluring and sensual to me. Gosh, appreciating mountaintops and traversing valleys. Is it a Friday thing, Mrs. M? I don't know. I think you're feeling euphoric. I'm a bit embarrassed now. Don't worry. Yeah. You have gone red, actually. Nadia saying it's living in the present, in the moment, that makes us happy. Living in the past and the future makes us unhappy. Yes, there is definitely as well, right? Something about that. Undeniable as an idea, as a concept, and it's in the living of that, isn't it? We can appreciate that, and living that is our perhaps. Is that why we're here? Coming back to why we're here. Oh my goodness, so many comments. Sarah's saying the concept of letting off the hook could be helpful to be free of unhappiness. You know what I mean? We actually do, because Sarah's spoken about letting people off the hook completely. Maybe, Sarah, when you come back, we can do a show about the power of it. I'm not ready to do that. Nope. That's what happens though, isn't it? What, forgive that person? You've got to be kidding. Is that what's being talked about here? Can you remind me? Well, why don't we find out when Sarah comes back? Okay, all right. Deb's saying, I was stuck for quite a while in the darkness, and now I'm free. So happy. Deb. Yeah. So happy to hear they're teaching breathwork in schools now. It really has changed my life. And T-Duck is saying, leave it to Carl to find the double entendre. That's my department. Yeah. Now let's bring on some of the comments from the last couple of shows, because I do like to keep up with those. Yes. Whoops. So funnily enough, we got T-Duck. T-Duck right there. A couple of days ago saying, looking good, folks. He's a producer, isn't he? He's a good friend. Yes. And it works as an executive producer for us. So yeah. And Naomi B saying, thank you. That's very much about our Wednesday show.
And Black Moon Jesus said, "Oh my God, your France story is so on point. I enjoyed it so much. No meditation could get to you there. You're crushing the In Touch with the Guides game. Carl, are you the original Mercury?"
That's in Freddie.
Mate, I don't know. Why are we here? To save Earth from the dark, and we have love. Love you guys to the moon. So that's from Black Moon Jesus. That's really kind.
Mercury. It's an interesting thing. I think of fillings. I think of Freddie. Mercurial.
Well, I think
perhaps?
of you as the messenger.
Okay.
You like bringing messages to people.
As in, okay, right. I'm good with that. Yeah.
And then also from Wednesday, Barbara Ducharme says, "Thanks for uplifting my day." Very welcome.
Name, Ducharme.
And then from Bob's show yesterday, Rob
Bob,
Yonker.
that was so brilliant.
Yeah.
Something stuck out for me from the show yesterday, which is I wanted to make it a little clip, and I will do at some point. But it's listening to the messages, because Bob said that, didn't he? You know, I need a sign. He asked for a sign, and the next advert, I think, on his computer or whatever was upload your uplifting music here. Yes. And it was like it wasn't a sign, was it? It was like a slap in the face, really.
Yeah, absolutely.
And these are around us, I believe. If we come back to the hypnosis of willingness and intention, you know, in intention, please give me a sign. I'm willing to listen, and then through the medium comes a message, possibly.
Yeah. Well, Black Moon Jesus is saying, beautiful music. Thank you for sharing your relationship with the divine.
Yeah.
And because we were talking about Portugal and Spain, she's also said locational astrology is so interesting.
Yeah.
I'm getting that Portugal, Spain are the last places on earth that still feel as good as the ocean, which is how good everywhere is supposed to feel. And we'll be going back to that very soon. Like the idea.
Well, I got a little bit of a ripple there. That's fantastic. Like me.
And you've got some kudos for the scarf you're wearing yesterday. Fetching. A lot of new energy is coming in, and particularly into the throat. Massive healing on a massive scale.
That's fantastic. And
Love
I think
you guys so much.
The word dapper was used yesterday.
Dapper,
as well.
yes.
Yeah, I'll take it. Thank you.
No, I mean, B was saying beautiful food for my soul. We got
from
spammed.
Bob.
Yeah, from Bob. Okay. And we're getting spammed quite a bit on my channel. And like somebody was asking, why are you getting spammed in the comments so much? I'm not so worried about it.
Because they can.
Yeah.
Right.
But you know what? I think we're very open. We're very open to, you know, I think, you know, like to be able to reach out to as many people as possible, you have to open all of your boundaries. And, you know, sometimes you get really good flow, and then you get a waste of time flow as well sometimes. Yeah. So we are having people
the lesser landmarks on the horizon.
But, you know, I think it's still good.
We will not be pulling up the drawbridge unless absolutely necessary. I had to use the naughty step this morning on Good Morning Portugal. Did you? Yeah.
Oh, dear.
A timeout.
Okay.
It happens.
So Donna Marie was saying, great show this morning, wonderful music. I continued with this for my meditation afterwards. Beautiful. Now off for an uplifting, energized dance class. Thank you for helping me with my start to this gorgeous day. You're so welcome.
Super.
And then
this has got to be another show.
Yeah.
We haven't got time for this now.
No, we don't. We're gonna
can you just read the first bit? This was asking AI about consciousness, wasn't it?
Yeah. So one of my pals on Facebook asked, more like a scientific perspective, but was really asking about the nature of reality. If our reality is based on the structure of a proton, and the center of the proton is connected to an infinite source of energy, what does this tell us about the true nature of our reality?
Couldn't wish for a better consciousness cliffhanger than that.
Yeah, and there are lots and lots of different answers, which we may well go through another time.
I asked Grok as well, why are we here? There were some good answers there, but we don't have time to look at them now.
No, we don't. We are really coming up to the last bit.
Yeah.
So we have got Deb saying, love that. Mother Mulberry saying, oh, I've seen those.
Oh, the spams.
The spams, I think.
Send them a nice message. Confuse them.
Yeah, they're coming from a bot, so they're not individual people. They are because I block the user each time, and it comes up.
They're very good at what they do. You got to give it to them. So thank you very much for this another week of wonderful community.
Thank you.
And guests, and it's been lovely. We'll see you again next week from Monday, won't we, Mrs. Young?
Yes. And
Deb, have a great day. Happy birthday. Do let us know when it's your
birthday,
everybody, and we'll celebrate with you. And I'm glad to have been a part of the start of your day.
Yes. Have a fantastic weekend and catch you next week.